In this video, I will share with you how to invest in your 20s so that you can be much more wealthier in your 30s. Do not get a wrong impression or what. I just turned 30 years old this year. I do not own any private jet, Lamborghini or anything like that. But for the last 10 years, I built up a portfolio of stocks and some investment properties that cover most or even all my expenses. I believe this is the goal for most people out there. Anyway, this is not about me. This video is for you. I'm going to share with you all my recommendations and strategies that I learned along the way, and you can apply it as well. And I must say that this is your once in a lifetime opportunity to make some really big moves without much more downside. Point number one is this: if you are in your 20s, prepare to invest almost everything you have immediately. I remember reading about compound interest when I was at the age of 15, and this concept really stays with me till now. Investing $1,000 every year at the age of 18 and at a rate of return of 7% each year is going to worth $353,000 at the age of 65. However, if you wait 10 years later to invest the same $1,000 every year, at the age of 65, it is only going to be worth $173,000. This means that your money is worth twice as much when you are 18 years old than it is when you are 30 years old. And when I learned about this, it changed everything. It really became like a race to invest as much money as I could because time was my opportunity. So I think it is important that you do not waste this once in a lifetime opportunity to invest as early as you can. And you should basically just go all in, put almost everything into investment and set it and forget about it. And for anyone who's young and watching this is especially good for two reasons. The first reason is that you're probably not making a lot of money right now and you have not much money to lose. Secondly, you are young enough that you will have lots of compound interest and time for you to recover if you actually lose money. Point number two, save at least 50% of your income to invest. This is something that might go against the crowd, but I have to say it. Saving 10% of your income, like so many financial advisors and guru recommended, is definitely not enough right now, because the fact is that you can save the most money in terms of percentage during your 20s, because this is a time where you have the least liabilities and financial responsibilities. Because as time goes by, you will be getting married, buying your first home, having children, and etc. And all this will definitely affect your expenses and ability to save money. So in general, your proportion of savings in your income will decrease from 50% to 40% to 30% and etc. as time goes by. Therefore, in your 20s, you should aim to save more than 50% of your income and start investing as soon as possible to leverage on your time. You might be saying, Glenn, it is not easy to save 50% in my 20s as I do not have high salary and I'm used to spend majority of my salary every month. First of all, I did not say that it is easy. I'm saying that this is what you should do if you want to be financially free and be wealthier much earlier. Assuming you are a typical 9 to 5 working professional, let's be conservative and say that a person in 20s started working in less than 2 years and the salary is around $4,000 per month, which is equivalent to $48,000 per year. Let me show you my financial calculator. Let's go to scenario 1. Let's say you're saving 10% of your income and you're making $48,000 per year, and your expenses will be 90%, which is $43,200, and your savings each year will be 10% for investment, so $48,000 per year. So you can see that, let's say you started with $5,000 and every single year accumulate $4,800 from your savings for investment. And you can see that at a rate of 7% per annum return, this is the total you can accumulate each year. And at a year of 33, after investing, you can be financially free. So assuming you started with at 20 years old, 20 plus 33 years later is 53 years old. It's not too bad. Let's say you go to scenario 2, which is over here, saving 50% of your income. Instead of saving 10%, you save 50%. So 50% of 48,000 is 24,000. Same thing, started with 5,000. Every single year accumulate 24,000 with a rate of return of 7%. You can be financially free and retire in 10 years. That means if you started at 20 years old, you can retire 10 years later, which is 30 years old, you can be financially free. That means when your account actually reached this point, 341,000 at a rate of return of 7% can cover your yearly expenses. And that is the time whereby you can call yourself, or you got choice to quit your job and you got choice to do whatever you want. Once again, 10% savings is definitely better than not saving anything. But when you really consider just how much you can make in your 20s, you should really strive to invest a lot more in the early years, because there are high chance that later in your life, you might have more difficulty saving 50% of your income compared to when you are in your early 20s or in your 20s. Do leave your comments below to share with me whether you are saving at least 50% of your income during your 20s and why, so that we can understand your thoughts and your journey in your 20s. Moreover, the cool thing about being in your 20s is that living frugally is expected from you anyway. You do not need to buy branded products and etc. There is no social pressure whatsoever for you to have anything of value in your 20s. The good thing is, people just expect that of any 20-something anyway. What you should really focus on is where you should invest your money and precious time during your 20s, which is the next few points. Point number 3. Invest in traditional assets. I would invest in a stock market, which was what I did since I was 18 years old. This could be buying individual stocks, or if you are a beginner, I suggest you can start with exchange traded fund, also known as ETF, which is basically a basket of stocks rather than individual stocks, as the risk is much more lower. All you need to do is basically just buy and hold. Do not be afraid when the market drops, because it will drop in price at some point in time or another. Secondly, I would invest in a real estate to get some passive income. And the best way to go about this is by learning from people who have been there, done that successfully, and follow their footsteps. Lastly, point number 4 is to invest heavily in yourself. A quote mentioned by Warren Buffett: invest in as much of yourself as you can, because you are your own biggest asset by far. I totally agree with this quote by Warren Buffett, because people can steal our money, people can steal our physical item, but nobody can ever take away our ability to make money in this world. So you can invest in yourself by seeking mentorship, attending personal development courses, reading books, and many more. In my lifetime, I've invested $5-figure US on investing courses, communication courses, marketing courses, mentorship, and many more. I must say that this is an investment, and I'm equipped with this skill for a lifetime. You can even go to the library and borrow books to equip yourself with the knowledge. So there are no excuse for you not to invest in yourself. What I mean by invest in yourself is that you should invest money, time, and effort in upgrading yourself. Because the fact is that if you do not invest in yourself, nobody will ever invest in you. So in conclusion, if you're in your 20s, do invest as soon as possible, save at least 50% of your income to invest in traditional assets, and invest heavily in yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm really proud that you have made it to the end. Do comments below to share with me whether you agree with the 4 points I mentioned and why. I cannot wait to see your comments to understand your point of view as well. Also, feel free to subscribe to this channel so that you will be notified with all the future valuable content. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you soon.